Hey guys, welcome to Braddels Gaming and to another episode of my Far Cry 5 custom map series. In this series I feature the maps that I create on the Far Cry 5 arcade, but before I launch into the map breakdown for my latest map, I just want to quickly inform you guys of the reasons for my near 2-month long hiatus. For the past 2 months, I've reached the tail end of my full-time studies and have transitioned into a part-time job. Now, I'm extremely grateful for having both the opportunity to study and now gain employment, and the company I'm currently working for is a great company with great people and great opportunities to help people start earning some money and advance my own personal career. Despite this new commitment though, I am still very much committed to continually producing content for this YouTube channel, as I absolutely love sharing all things Far Cry with you all, and hope that we can continue to grow this channel and community that we've had going on here since June 2018. As I've repeatedly stated, I am here for the long run, so I hope you guys continue to stick around. But now let's move on to the map breakdown for this video, which centers around my latest multiplayer map on the Far Cry 5 arcade, a Team Deathmatch map called Simunitions. The narrative behind this map is that it is a USA military base built over an existing Middle Eastern town. At least the Middle Eastern town has been relatively destroyed, and now the USA are basically just taking this sort of makeshift defensive position as their new military base. And the playable area is pretty small, it's just one part of the military base, and it's where USA soldiers can train and fight against other squads, refining their skills for real-world combat. This area is known as the Simulation Zone, and it allows soldiers in the US Army at this military base to simulate real-life urban battle scenarios with their fellow comrades. Because Simunitions, it basically is a type of bullet that shoots to harm but doesn't shoot to kill. So it's not like a 50 caliber round, it's more like a paintball or an airsoft pellet. It's still going to hurt you, but it's not going to kill you. Of course, I'm just sort of making up some sort of backstory for this map. This is Far Cry, so obviously when you shoot at someone they are going to die. At least their character is, not themselves as the player, obviously. Although of course I'd hope that they wouldn't die from dying in the game. That wouldn't be very good. But either way, this is a really tense map to play, given you can be hit from so many different angles. I've really tried to maximize the sightlines on this map because I'm really trying to force the player to take the approach that there is no safe space on this map, that they've got to continually move through it. It's a pretty fast-paced map, and because it's so small, that also adds to the chaotic sort of gameplay of the map. And as I mentioned earlier, there's just so many different sightlines on this map. That was one of my original goals coming in, that I would have a lot of different sightlines that players could use to shoot at each other through. And so you've really got to watch out and always be on your toes and be looking 360 degrees around yourself to ensure that where you are at that given time inside the map, that you're, relatively safe, that you can't be hit from too many angles. But through a collection of scrap material, storage containers, gabions, sandbags, flattened vehicles, building ruins, wooden towers, makeshift plywood structures, and other objects, the map is filled with twists and turns, varying angles, like I mentioned earlier, and the diverging sightlines, deadly kill boxes, a combination of short to long ranged engagements, and deadly choke points. And this really creates the sense of danger that I was talking about earlier, but it also increases variable gameplay for the players, increasing replayability and really embracing the fast-paced type of map that I'm trying to go for. The map itself is split into 5 sections, with the central double-story plywood structure the focal point of this map's claustrophobic map layout. Now, before breaking down each section of the map, I'm now going to move on to the loadouts. And there are 3 different loadouts, I think. Yeah, 3 different loadouts that either team can use. There's the infantry class, there's the gunner class, and there's the sniper class. And so now I'm going to briefly break down each one. The infantry class uses standard weaponry such as the M16 assault rifle and M9 pistol, overall making it a versatile loadout. The bullet spread of the M16 at longer ranges can be inaccurate in full auto firing mode, so ensure you switch to burst firing mode or tap fire when picking off targets that are further away. Don't forget about using full auto firing mode in close range though, as the unpredictable and ferocious bullet spread at short distances makes for an unstoppable array of firepower up close. This ensures any enemies hidden around tight corners will have to keep on their toes. Moving on to the gunner class, and this is for anybody that loves their firepower. The M249 cuts through enemies like a hot knife through butter and has the highest ammo count of any of the guns on this map. The M249's firepower can be used for leading the charge. However, if you're sick of fighting on the front lines, then sit back, pick a sightline and mow down any unsuspecting foe moving through the area you have your sights locked onto. And finally, the sniper class, which in stark contrast to the infantry class, is all about scouting the area and conflict in front of you. Similarly to the gunner class, explore the map and find the deadliest sightline possible for you to shoot through at unexpected adversaries. Also be sure to keep your D50 at the ready, as its one-hit kill firepower can quickly clear you from any close quarter combat shootouts. Now I'm going to be doing a full gameplay walkthrough for you guys, and I'm basically just using the infantry class in this walkthrough with the M16 and the M9, and yeah, I'm basically just going to be showing you guys the different areas, the different sight lines, and you can already see me here with the M16 just sort of burst firing the weapon or tap firing the weapon. As I said at the start with the loadout section, you don't really want to use the M16 at full auto fire mode unless you're up close, because it can be a weapon that likes to spray around the area quite a lot, and therefore you won't really be able to pick off your targets at longer ranges that very well. As you guys saw me fall down just there, I actually picked up this this weapon pickup. I actually can't remember what this weapon is called. I think it's a Scorpion. But yeah, it's a really fun SMG for some close quarters combat. And you can see me on this second story sort of plywood makeshift structure here with the Braddels Gaming YouTube on either side of the team's bases. And it has a few targets that you can shoot and destroy, and by shooting and destroying them, not only do they provide some interesting target practice, but they also allow you to be able to shoot out of those windows, increasing the number of sight lines and angles that you can have on the enemy, or just windows to shoot out of. And as you guys can see here, with the M16, I'm showing some areas that you can potentially shoot at from this from the second level structure on either side of the map. You can shoot at the double-story plywood structure in the center of the map, or any of the other sort of structures or sort of areas that you can see. Here you have the shovel pickup, because I know everyone loves using shovels in Far Cry. In the Far Cry arcade, it's definitely one of the more funner weapons to use, considering you just have to throw it once at someone and they're dead, which makes it extremely satisfying. Now, what I was alluding to before about there being no safe space on this map, it's even true for this area here. So whether it's this corner over here or the corner behind that container on the other side where the shovel spawns, because people are still able to jump and climb, and there's so many multiple ways that people can get to you that even if you're hiding in a corner like this one or the one over there, you're still able to be shot at, and you're still able to be ambushed quite quickly without you actually realizing. Moving beyond the back area of one of the team's sides is this ramp that goes up into the middle part of the map. This is one of the pathways to the middle, and you've also got the staircase which also leads to the middle, so it's kind of multiple pathways which all meet one destination, which is the middle two-story plywood structure, which I will get to very soon. But you have this other plywood structure by the staircase of on either side of the team's spawn areas. And this provides a really good defensive point, especially if you're pushed back. You can kind of just sort of camp here. It's probably one of the safer places on the map and one of the more easily defensible positions. So for the sake of this map breakdown, I'm going to call this team side Team Alpha. And Team Alpha have got a ruined structure. Like I said at the start, this US military base was built over an existing Middle Eastern town in ruins. And so you've kind of got this ruined house sort of element here, which provides some good cover. You've also got this hunting tower, which provides a good vantage point and a good defensive position for when any enemy crosses over into Team Alpha's side of the map, as you guys can see from this doorway here. Here we have the midpoint of the map. This is the double-story plywood structure, and it creates the link from one team's side to the other through this undercover sort of area, but also you can get to the other team via this ladder, which reaches the second floor. And the really great thing about the second floor is that you get a Spaz 12 super pickup, which is this insanely overpowered gun, and whichever team sort of controls this structure, especially with the use of the shotgun, they're most likely probably going to win. So it kind of gives players some enticement to get to the middle of the map. And I put a permanent objective marker down to guide players to that area. This is the parallel area to Team Alpha's ruined structure, but instead of a ruined structure, it is a makeshift plywood structure. Pretty much a lot of this map is based around plywood, because I know that that is the material that a lot of US armies use in their bases in the Middle East, because it's a cheap material that is a good conductor of heat, I believe is the right scientific term. I don't know, I think it is. But either way, this is the equivalent of the ruined structure on the other side of the map. And similarly, it is sort of like a house that has sightlines pointing to your own spawn, but also to the doorway that is the link from the enemy team side to your side. So it provides a really good defensive position as well, just to hold back the enemies. You've also got this hunting tower, which is symmetrically placed in the exact same spot as the other side of the map. So you can shoot across to each hunting tower, but you can also have a nice vantage point over the plywood structure in the middle and your own team spawn. Moving on to Bravo team's spawn area. Now, before I get into this area, although it should be worth noting that both spawn areas are pretty much symmetrical to each other, there isn't actually any physical change in terms of the map, or even aesthetical change either. Now, there's these side areas here that are the barracks or the firing range, which I've added into the map, just sort of a mini firing range for either team. This is where players can stock up on ammunition that they need, smoke grenades or bullets, and here is the mini firing range for either team side, which has some targets that actually can't be destroyed. These ones are actually permanent, so they stay throughout the whole duration of the map, and so it means that regardless of when someone comes into the game, they can sort of have some good old target practice. And because I gave binoculars in the loadouts, you can actually see where your bullets hit on the targets on those firing ranges by shooting and then checking out via binoculars where the bullet holes were made. So it's actually pretty cool like that. Anyways, that wraps up another map breakdown video on this channel, and the map breakdown of Simunitions. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and enjoy the map. Remember that by the time you see this video, the map will have already been released onto the arcade for your enjoyment. Again, apologies for the delay in content. I can't wait to get right back into it, but otherwise, I'm Braddels Gaming, I'm signing out now, and remember to have yourselves a great day.